Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating, highly targeted move by Medanta in the corporate healthcare space. For anyone tracking hospital acquisitions, this is literally a textbook example of how to expand your clinical reach. They're doing it through calculated investments rather than just, starting totally from scratch. So let's look at exactly what Medanta's up to here.
So the big question we're tackling right off the bat, how exactly is Medanta strategically expanding its footprint? You see, it's not always about building massive billion-dollar megaprojects in capital cities. Sometimes the absolute most impactful growth happens regionally. How? By acquiring existing infrastructure. This single acquisition we're looking at today really highlights a much broader trend of top-tier hospital networks penetrating way deeper into regional markets. It's a strategic play you definitely need to pay attention to.
Section 1. The Indore Acquisition. This is a strategic move in regional healthcare. Medanta has specifically chosen to expand its operations right into the heart of Madhya Pradesh.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that operative word right there, take over. Medanta isn't out there spending years, securing land permits, pouring concrete, and constructing a hospital from the ground up. Nope. This is a direct corporate takeover of an existing facility. By completely bypassing the massive, sometimes agonizing delays usually associated with those greenfield projects, they can instantly stamp their brand on a facility and just start delivering care. It is an incredibly efficient way to scale.
Section 2. By the numbers, breaking down the takeover. Let's move to the hard data and see how this builds. Because, let's be real, corporate healthcare is a numbers game, and these metrics give us a fantastic window into Medanta's financial commitment here.
All right, here is the first half of our data punch. The exact financial valuation of this takeover? 30 crore rupees. Now, to put that into perspective, in the grand scheme of massive hospital networks, a 30 crore investment is a highly targeted, almost surgical financial maneuver. It's not a blank check. It represents a very, very calculated deployment of capital. They aren't over-leveraging themselves. Instead, they're stepping in with a highly specific, optimized budget just to secure an established footprint in the Indore market.
And we're going to immediately follow that up with the second half of that data punch, the physical scale. That 30 crore investment secures an 80-bed facility. When you look at the cost per bed ratio in modern healthcare acquisitions, getting an 80-bed hospital at this price point, it makes a lot of sense. It gives Medanta a really solid medium-sized operational base. Think about it. It's large enough to make a significant regional impact and handle some serious patient volume, but it's still manageable enough to quickly, cleanly integrate into their existing corporate and clinical network.
Moving on to Section 3, Strategic Cancer Care. The clinical focus. We've talked about the real estate and the finances, but honestly, the medicine is where this story gets really, really compelling.
So the crucial point is that this is a dedicated cancer facility. We're not talking about a multi-specialty general hospital here. Medanta is taking over a highly specialized oncology center. And as you might know, cancer care requires incredibly specialized equipment, expert-trained oncologists, and super complex care pathways. By acquiring a facility that was purpose-built for this, Medanta essentially leapfrogs the setup phase and immediately establishes itself as a premier destination for oncology in the Indore region.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we've been talking about. Pulling all these threads together gives us a really clear picture. We've got a swift corporate takeover in a growing regional market, backed by a precise 30 crore investment. And that capital secures an 80-bed capacity strictly dedicated to specialized, high-tier oncology care. This is just a fascinating micro-case study on how modern healthcare networks are expanding today by buying existing highly specialized assets in targeted regional hubs.
Which leaves us with this final, frankly provocative question to think about. How will this 30 crore takeover redefine regional cancer care? I mean, when a major player like Medanta brings its operational standards, its top-tier medical protocols, and that heavy-hitting corporate backing to an 80-bed regional oncology center, it literally has the potential to raise the bar for patient outcomes across the entire region. It's a fascinating development for sure, and definitely a space we'll be keeping a very close eye on. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the strategy behind the numbers.